actually 1 hour long. I'm gonna try to keep this short. Kind of flew by pretty fast. I didn't realize it was taking that long. But yeah, so there's a number of ways that you could deal with all the enemies if you only have one stance. But yeah, as far as the other legendaries I was going over, Forbidden Medicine is pretty good. I don't use it a lot except for Samurai. Because I feel like I've just been able to find a source of feeling that's not requiring me to use that for the legendary. Of course, if that's the only choice you have to get a bomb pack on the samurai, then that's a great one, and then you can let that be your main source of healing, and then focus more on offense. But yeah, so uh, weightless spirit, aka worthless spirit, it's not really worth a lot. The main perk is that the arrows don't descend. The Sugaru site is also very gimmicky. It looks cool in theory, but it's basically the same technique that you get from the Sugaru charm on the main campaign. You get from Iki Island. It takes too long. Takes 2 seconds to target, to lock in on a target, and it uses 3 arrows, and won't let you do um, headshot refund. So this just burns through a lot of arrows, and I guess it's cool if you're doing story. I don't know, it could be cool for just like for the purposes of playing, but for effectiveness sake, I wouldn't recommend it. Heaven Sting, 20% 20% chance of instantly killing a non-Oni target. It could be fun. I feel like with the Deadly Nightshade, it could be actually more powerful, so might be worthwhile. I just haven't looked into a build that actually uses it. That's pretty much it. As far as the rest of the charms goes, um, let's see. So, Angel's Remorse is actually pretty popular right now, and it's what I use for my assassin speed runs because of that 15% bonus damage when at full health. Um, which is pretty good. You just have to be if you're doing a lot of range damage, which I am with the assassin with both the bomb pack and my sticky and then my ultimate. It's all like from afar. It's all ranged, different types of range damage. So I'm not at risk a lot. Obviously, there are moments where you just can't avoid but getting hit. And but I for my specific build, I think the refreshing vanish is good enough for me. So um, it's like I said, it's really really cool to have that additional 15%, which is damage across the board. So everything will be applied to every source of damage that you could deal out, which is great. A lot of damage on this game is um, very specific, but this is like Oni damage where it's just across the board. And it'll stack. So it'll stack on top of whatever Oni damage you have. It'll stack on top of whatever buff to your damage types that you have. It'll stack on top of that, which is great. Um, this Heavenly Rebuke charm, again, it's kind of like a fun charm to have. The actual lightning itself doesn't do a lot of damage, which is what I found. It won't even kill the base enemy, the base Mongols with the white shirt and the single sword. So that's just something to consider. I have not tested to see if there's anything um, to be done as far as buffing the damage from the lightning, but it is a cool thing, obviously from the campaign, and their Sucker Punch is obviously trying to get things over from the campaign that were cool, like that, or the Sarugami's Glare, which is they basically split up the Sarugami armor into two charms, into two legendaries, one charm, one katana. Um, yeah, so this is the perfect dodge with the circular attack. Mm, And this, again, appears to be a defense type of charm. You notice the damage reduction and the injured resolve gain. Sacred Iron is cool as well because if you're doing a lot of melee damage and you get close to enemies for them to do melee damage to you, then they have weaken applied to them. So it's basically like a different version of Demon Seed. It's like a passive version of that. Um, this restorative rhythm is also a new charm. And again, it's another defense charm based on the options that it gives you. Banky's actually got buffed, and it might actually be a little fun to play with. I actually haven't played with this since it was buffed, but I've seen videos of people during nightmare weeks with Hawachas that are just standing in the middle of a Hawacha fire and they won't get damage. 75% chance is pretty big. A lot of things that proc at uh, 15% actually tend to happen a lot more often, like lucky. So 75%, I would imagine, is pretty much all the time you're immune to Hawacha fire. Yeah, for the most part. So that's really the only application I see it having. This obviously it's a range charm with all those stats. Last breath again, it's a defense charm. This could be useful. I know one of my friends likes or used to like to play this with this on the samurai, and so just because if you're doing a lot of close quarters combat and you're risking, if you're being really aggressive and not really caring, you could be like using super armor. And then this would save you from dying every 5 minutes, basically. So you could be super aggressive with this charm, um, and then it would proc uh, every 5 minutes, which is not too long now that Nightmare is shorter. So not sure what the use of that would be, but this Shogun's Fortitude is a stealth charm, a legendary stealth charm. You can see because it has stealth attack damage and all the rest of the options it gives you. This one is actually cool. I used to run it a lot. You can run this when it's like a story week that has um, where the modifier is toxic clouds, and you could just breeze through the whole thing with this because no poison effects, and it's great also because of those flash bombs. Those guys like to blind you a lot, so that's great. If you hate being incapacitated in any of those two ways, then this is a great one for you. And also because of the properties that it has. I think that's it for the charms. Yep. Now the magma bomb is actually pretty cool. It's a sticky bomb that's also a smoke bomb. So you could run this if you're running um, if you wanted to use a second legendary slot for the hunter, if you wanted to use more smoke, then you'd be protected more while you're using your sticky. So this could be a good one for that purpose, or as an assassin as well. If you're getting a lot of, if you have a lot of stealth attack damage, you're doing a lot of assassinations. This could be good for the assassin as well. You get two smokes basically. The touch of heaven, I felt that it was very circumstantial, and the heal itself, if you're in the at the center of the blast, is actually not that good. So I would not waste a legendary slot for this um, sticky bomb. The Spirit Kunai is arguably one of the best legendaries in the game. It also got nerfed by 5 seconds. So yeah, that's um, that's a thing to consider, but still it's super powerful, and now that you can stack super massive with hidden blades, it's actually really really cool. So um, all your cooldowns will be, which is great because nothing else gives you that. Nothing else gives you all cooldowns to be reduced by 10 seconds on kill. So if you beef him up with a lot of ghost weapon damage, which you could have on the charm, and both Ghost Weapon 1 and 2, then your damage could actually be pretty powerful and you could be getting a lot of kills with these. So, some different builds make really good use of these Spirit Kunai. So, Lady Sandra's Surprise. So, Dirt Throw also has 25% chance to cause enemies to hallucinate. This is how you will see a Ronin randomly hallucinating people, which kind of freaked me out the first time that I saw that. I was like, how is that Ronin hallucinating people? But yeah, they're using a Lady Sandra's Surprise. And beyond that, not really useful in my opinion. Like I wouldn't use this if it wasn't just for the purpose of having a little bit of fun. Demon Seeds are actually really really cool because of the weekend, because of what they actually do as far as staggering or like keeping enemies in place. If you're wanting to control defense area, as a samurai, you might want to have those melee stats more than the smoke. As a samurai, I feel like you don't really use the smoke too much, or you could, depending on what you're doing, but you benefit more from the caltrops, which I think are more like a samurai weapon. But yeah, they're great. This bottle of liquid courage is actually huge. A lot of people are using it. It's pretty cool because it only has two properties, so you can just pick one, and then when you unlock the second one, you just get the other one automatically. So Lucky and Strong Brew. Um, this is great because if you get lucky, you could get it a few times in a row, or even if you just get it once in a row, and then you could get resolved from 1 to 3, which usually in my experience it's closer to 2 or 3. So yeah, it's a good thing to have. Definitely, it's really fun with the samurai, and I know that I saw this build of it was like a poison build with assassin that was using that. So yeah, it looks like a lot of fun with different classes. I've seen hunters use it as well. So yeah, it's a thing to consider. I think it's more, in my opinion, it's more for the samurai. But yeah, um, the Mist of Yagata. It's also very, very slow and very small heal. I don't see how it warrants using a legendary slot on it. Um, Kenji's shared brew also very circumstantial. You basically have to run around trying to use this, to heal other people when you're using it. I had one time I had a guy that kept prompting help, help, and when I finally, after just seeing that he didn't need help and then just seeing that nobody could figure out what he wanted, I got on the mic and asked him what he needed help with, and he said that he was trying to use this to heal everybody. So not really that useful. I would not give up a legendary slot on this. Um, and I think that's it. Also for I forgot to reference the spreadsheet, the data sheet that Barrick has put together from. He's one of the admins for the Ghost of Tsushima subreddit and also the Discord for that subreddit. So they have an amazing team of people that have just put so many hours into testing everything, all the types of damage, all the different gear types and everything pretty much that's part of the game in Legends. And just they have this all these spreadsheets, and well, there's a main one, but they have all kinds of data that they've been accumulating and testing. And so when I was talking about melee resolve gain, there's people that they're still thinking that it does something for you, but you could reference those documents and then see exactly what you're getting, especially at different percentages, and it'll be even like hit specific. So it'll tell you how many hits you need to get this or that result, depending on which property or which perk you're using. So basically everything has been measured and it's accounted for. So don't trust my word. Just look at the facts and then judge for yourself. I'm gonna put the link and comments, so you guys can benefit from that. And thanks to Barrick and everybody else like Bone of Vimba and all the rest of the guys that have spent time testing and recording all this info. And I think that's it. Thank you guys for watching.